Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin hasn't really changed since the last update. I've added here a little bit of a support area for the white wave count. Both are fairly balanced, okay? So let's talk about all three wave counts that actually make sense here. The downside one, the upside one, and you won't believe it, the sideways one. Okay, but we'll focus on the yellow one first, because as I explained to you, I focus on the downside as long as the price is below 27,480. However, I have to say the yellow wave count, which is the immediate downside scenario, has definitely reduced in likelihood due to the price action of the last day actually, of yesterday, right? So in an ideal world, one second, I just need to move that. Oh, I didn't want to do that. 1 second. So we would like to see in the yellow wave count basically an immediate downturn, a break below the $26,700 level. Why is that important? Well, that's just a very early indication that things are breaking, because it's here the 50% retracement level of that distance. It's a very, very early indication. The price did hold that today. So we had a very early indication that it could be breaking, but it never really broke it. So it was just very, very early snapshot, but the price did hold above it. So it's not, we need to see that sustained break below 26,700 as indication that, yeah, that a top is in place in yellow wave 2. Until then, the price could still push higher. So far, only 3 waves down. And as long as it's holding that trend line, it will push higher. Would then, however, need to take out 27,480 to reinterpret the count or the chart. Well, actually not to reinterpret. I mean, the bullish count is on the chart. That's the white wave count. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But in the yellow wave count, it should really turn around before breaking above 27,480, because then the yellow wave count will likely be invalidated, and it will be invalidated above 28,200. That's the key invalidation point. Whereas above 27,480, the probabilities will definitely shift towards the white wave count, which is the more direct bullish pathway, but it would have to be a diagonal, which is always a bit messy. Yeah, I don't like the structure that's happening. You know, off the lows, the structure is not clearly bullish. It can really only work as a diagonal. If it is that way, you know, then it is what it is. We will have to accept it, basically. But it would not be clearly bullish. And we, first of all, need to let it play out to see if it's just a high B wave or something more bullish. But we talk about that in a minute. So yeah, so the yellow wave count is basically at the at that point where it could get invalidated, and it just takes a few $100 to basically invalidate it. Okay, yeah, and then sideways wave count is basically in line with the yellow wave count. It's just a different way of counting it, because I could say that in the yellow wave count, yes, I've got a 1-2-1-2 setup, or why not call it a triangle, right? Could be that this B wave is unfolding as a triangle. It would also break to the downside, but you can see that it has lower and lower volatility here, and the price is really moving in a triangle shape. I mentioned that a few times before. It's just not entirely clear at the moment, but price is moving into the apex of this triangle. So it is a valid interpretation. It's just that it doesn't make any difference really to the yellow wave count, because it would also break to the downside and the count could nearly be complete. A wave, B wave, C wave, D wave, and E wave of the triangle, and then from somewhere here it would break down. So that's basically the same as the yellow wave count. It's just a different way of counting the sub-wave structures. Now, and then the bullish wave count is the white wave count. That, however, is not clearly bullish. First of all, we need to break above 27,480 to make it more likely. And even then, we need to see, can it actually fill out the 5 waves? The 5 waves will really only be a first confirmation that a lasting low has been made. Normally, we want to see 2 levels of confirmation. Why? Because only 5 waves up, that could all take place in this larger B wave. So 5 waves up would simply be a high B wave. It wouldn't even be clearly bullish. So this would be in a reset of the B wave. This is definitely a likely option. So that's why I always say we need to see 5 waves up and the subsequent ABC pullback, 3 waves, to call it a wave 1 and a wave 2. And then this is bullish. Until then, this could just be a high B wave. So that just takes a bit of patience if you're looking for a highly reliable trade setup to the upside. We need to see 5 waves up and 3 waves down. I have, for anybody who wants to trade the white wave count, also because a few channel members asked me, I have added a support area. This could be support for the B wave. If you're wondering why is it the B wave, well, it's just because this move up is ABC, okay, into the September highs here, the previous September highs. 27,480, this has to be an ABC structure. So in the wave 1, this would also be ABC, which means it would be part of a leading diagonal. So, or basically a diagonal pattern. Wave 1, or an ending diagonal in a B wave, but okay, we don't want to get too detailed here, but it has to be an ABC. So to keep things short, the wave 3 also needs to be an ABC, and then the wave 5 as well. And that's why I'm tracking here currently a potential B wave pullback. The price reacted already to that zone. Might be that it's testing that again, and below 26,270. Also, this white wave count will again reduce in likelihood. So, it's sort of fairly balanced at the moment, the perspective. It's quite messy. We are in the range. Triangle is even possible. I don't believe this wave count. I don't believe the white wave count, but it is for anybody who's looking for a pullback zone. Could be various reasons why you're looking for a pullback zone. Maybe for a risky pullback trade. Well, pullback trades are normally not that risky because you can set the stop loss quite tight, but it's not a high probability setup for higher, okay? It is still one that, you might want to engage with if you're interested. It's just that it's nothing. That's why I highlighted in orange. It's not really like a likely trade setup for higher, because as I said to you, I look for lower, below 27,480. This is not, we're not on the side of probabilities here, but of course it could work out, okay? It could of course work out. To be honest, probabilities are fairly balanced at the moment on the Bitcoin chart, which is reflected by the price action. I mean, just look at what the price is doing. It's just moving sideways. The market hasn't even decided yet. So it's important just to know what are the relevant breakout points either side. Where are potential pullback zones? Where can I measure my risk? And where is potentially risk low and reward high, depending on which wave count you feel comfortable with trading. Yeah, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.